Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 428. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is what to do when your spouse or partner does not support your entrepreneurial dreams. What to do when your spouse or partner does not support your entrepreneurial dreams. So we know as entrepreneurs that it takes many things for us to be successful. And some of those things may be your product or service, your skill set, your market, and your determination. But what many entrepreneurs and their loved ones don't understand is the impact that a spouse or partner has on the success of your business. Now, we're going to dive deep today. And if you've listened to the show for any period of time, then you may have heard me talk about the situation I had with my wife when we first got married and I left corporate America. And at that point in time, my wife did not support my entrepreneurial dreams. And we're going to dive into that. And I'm also going to give you 7 tips on how to navigate this, both for the entrepreneur and the spouse or partner. So if you know somebody who's an entrepreneur or the spouse or partner of an entrepreneur, make sure you share this episode with them. We're going to take a deep dive into something that is super critical for the success of your business. Before we get to today's content, let me just share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. Also, 2 platforms I've created to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black community. BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com. Just an update on those sites, guys. I'm changing the platform. So if you go to the sites right now, you'll see a landing page. Make sure you put in your email address and your name, and you'll be alerted when the sites are back up. So I'm changing the aesthetics and the entire platform, and it's taken a little bit longer than I anticipated. Also, don't forget to take advantage of BEBacademy.com, which is our online learning portal that helps you elevate your entrepreneur IQ with online courses, masterclasses, resources, and downloads. You get 3 days free access, BEBacademy.com. Make sure you check it out. And don't forget, guys, about BEBcoaching.com if you need clarity, focus, and direction. I'm doing a group coaching call for 5 people on Tuesday, September 27th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, plus a 1-hour one-on-one live with you after that. The investment is only $97. So if you need clarity, focus, and direction to build and grow your business, go to BEBcoaching.com. There are only 5 spots available, and I think right now there's only 1 or 2 spots available. So go to BEBcoaching.com. Looking forward to seeing you there. Now let's jump into today's content. What to do when your spouse or partner doesn't support your entrepreneurial dreams. I mentioned this before, guys. What I'm focused on now is doing impactful episodes that can literally be the difference between your success and failure. And today is definitely one of those. So I spoke at the top of the show in reference to me personally going through this with my wife after I left corporate America. So I'm going to tell you some personal stories, a deep dive, and I'm going to give you 7 tips on how to navigate this if you're currently in this situation. Now, hopefully you're not, and you have the support of your spouse or partner, but people are built differently. A lot of people aren't built to be entrepreneurs, and they don't understand what you're trying to accomplish. So we're going to focus on that. But please share this episode with all of your social network, because I'm telling you, there are people out there that you don't know that are going through this that may be embarrassed to tell you that. And trust me, I was one of those many moon ago, as they say. So before we jump into some of the solutions about what to do when your spouse or partner doesn't support your entrepreneurial dreams, first, we're going to ask a few critical questions. And we need to ask these questions to understand the feelings of our spouse or partner. Question number one, what's the real reason your spouse or partner or loved one has a problem with you being a full-time entrepreneur? Now, there's a plethora of reasons, but you want to get to the root reason, okay? Not the effect, but the root reason. So is it money or lack of money? Is it they being scared of risk? Do they think that your entrepreneurial dreams are silly? They don't believe that you can do it, and that's a big one. Are they jealous that they don't have the guts to live their dreams? Sometimes that happens, guys. People get resentful when you're going after yours and they're not going after theirs. Have you messed up the money before? And that's a very critical thing. So if you've tried things before and you've messed up the money, that can be very hard to come back from. All right. And also, they don't believe in entrepreneurship. Some people are built totally different. And so that's question number one. Question number two, have you identified the real reason or reasons, and have you addressed it? So when things don't get identified and addressed, they're going to cause problems, not just today, but in the future. So if you've ever argued with your spouse or partner about something or had a disagreement, if it's not addressed, right, then or identified, then you're always going to have that issue. So once you've identified the real reasons that your spouse or partner oppose your entrepreneurial journey, now you can get more specific and discuss things in a more direct manner. I want to share my personal story about your spouse or partner not supporting your entrepreneurial dream. So I'm not talking from theory. I'm talking from practical application, from experience, from living it. Okay. So my wife's family is a family of educators. Her father was a school teacher, then a principal in high school, then a provost in a college. My mother-in-law taught for over 30 plus years in elementary. And so after my wife did some stints in the insurance industry, she actually fell into education and has been a teacher and an administrator and principal ever since. And so that's how she was raised. Okay. Very solid positions and jobs. You're not going to get fired in education unless you're doing something real crazy. And it's a very steady income. So you continue to move forward, get more degrees or whatever, your educational level increases. So does your income level. And so it's something that's very stable. Now, before we got married, while we were engaged, I had worked at Merrill Lynch. I was a stockbroker, what they call financial advisor now, doing pretty well. But I was sick of the industry. I didn't want to be in the industry anymore. I got tired of chasing money and dealing with clients. And so I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And while we were engaged, I told her, I said, I have an opportunity to do something and I want to take it. And she was like, okay. And I think she didn't realize what that entailed, being an entrepreneur. You see, when I became a serial entrepreneur in the early 1990s, entrepreneurship wasn't cool. Now, today, everybody's a founder. I'm a founder of this. I'm a founder of that. But back in the early 90s, it was like, yo, what are you doing? You got a good job. You're making good money. You're one of the few black financial advisors in Philadelphia, in the Northeast or whatever. You got a nice client base. Why are you doing this? And so what I had to explain to my wife is this is a dream that I've had since I was little. My father was an entrepreneur after he left corporate America. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. My father's my great grandfather, my father's grandfather. So it was kind of in our bloodline. And so that's something that we had opposing ideologies about. She was more staid and more corporate. Hey, you work here 30 years, whatever, you get a nice pension, you retire. My thing was, I'm not going to work somewhere or in a job that I really don't love, I'm not passionate for. Let me go and bet on myself. And so once we got married, money was good at first because I had money saved up. But as the business started going on and my money was getting depleted, things got a little hairy, right? So we had to have arguments, or didn't have to, but we had arguments about paying bills, our finances, and things of that nature. So I grew up, I wasn't poor. I was probably middle class, maybe lower middle class. My parents were divorced when I was 7 years old. So we had what we needed, but we didn't necessarily have what we wanted. And it was my mom, my older brother, my older sister, and myself. I'm the youngest. And so we knew what sharing was. We knew what, hey, tonight we're having bologna sandwiches for dinner. So we understood that. And for us, it was no thing. But when my wife and her family, they grew up differently. Not that they were wealthy or anything. They were a solid middle class family, never wanted for anything. And they got a lot of the things. I mean, they never needed for anything, but they got a lot of the things they wanted also. So she wasn't accustomed to being scrappy in dealing with financial adversity, putting off this bill so you could pay the other bill, being able to maneuver and make your money last the whole month. So from that perspective, we were unequally yoked. Okay. So I'm used to being able, I got to make it happen. I always had side hustles. Even growing up, I started my first business at age 7. And that was selling potato chips and Kool-Aid on the block while we were running around in the summer times. I go get a big bag of chips, break them down into little bags, go make some Kool-Aid, have some cups. And I turned, $2 or $3 investment into $10, $15. And back at that time, that was real good money. And so I always understood the concept of how to create money. And once you have that bug and you understand that you can create money that is going to equal or surpass what you're doing at your job, and you can possibly be able to do it doing something that you enjoy, man, your mind doesn't go back to where it was before. You start looking at everything differently. And there's a different mindset that an entrepreneur has versus what I'll call a civilian. And there's nothing wrong with being a civilian. If you're not an entrepreneur, that's cool. Go find a good job. Continue to work, bank your money, do what you want to do. You won't have the stress. Hopefully, if you don't get laid off, you won't have the stress of not knowing where your next dollar is coming from. But that's a civilian mindset versus an entrepreneurial mindset. And so my wife and I had some knockdown, and I'm not proud to say this, not physically now, but knockdown, drag out battles about money, especially when I'm starting to build a business. And the way it made me feel was less than a man, because I don't want to be equated just based on how much money I bring in. And I used to tell her, I'm like, look, babe, you're looking at things as they are today. I'm looking at the future. I'm looking at not what it is today, but what it could be and what it could mean for not just me and you, but for our children, our legacy, my children's children. And so when you have a different outlook on things look totally different. So when I see something, man, that looks like the glass is half full, she may look at the same thing and the glass is half empty. And it's all based on perspective. And the way that you deal with that is everybody has to be on the same page. And this happened consistently. We had the same argument for probably 5 years. It was all about money, because sometimes as an entrepreneur, your money is good. Other times when you're starting new stuff or things aren't working out, then your money is bad. And I've started over 17 different businesses in my 20 plus years. Now, some of them were great. Some of them were not so great. Some of them were abject failures. I've almost lost it all 2 times, everything, house, cars, everything I own. But I was blessed to be able to build and come back and build 2 multi-million-dollar businesses, 2 separate multi-million-dollar businesses after every time I almost lost it all. And that comes from experience. And that comes from taking the L's, learning from those L's, and being able to come back even stronger. The problem comes when you don't have the support of your spouse or partner, and that grind, that uphill climb gets that much harder. And what I think a lot of spouses and partners don't understand is the impact that they have on the entrepreneur. You guys who are not the entrepreneurs, I want you to listen to this show closely also. If you're an entrepreneur and having this problem, make sure your spouse or partner listens to this show, because I'm going to tell you things that you probably know, but you may not be able to explain or expound on. On today's show, we're going to talk about the 7 things that you need to do to help settle or smooth over this situation. Number 1, explain to your spouse or partner why you're doing this and be specific. Explain to your spouse or partner why you're doing this and be specific. Also, guys, I forgot to mention, if you want the show notes, go to the website blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. At the bottom of every page, it'll say newsletter or join us, because today's show notes and all the show notes for all the episodes are in the newsletter, which come out every Monday and every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you may be riding in the car right now, not able to jot things down. You may be exercising, working out, or whatever. You may want to use this as talking points to your spouse or partner. So make sure you go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. At the bottom of every page, you have join us or newsletter. Sign up for that and you will automatically get the notes from every show. All right. So once again, number 1, explain to your spouse or partner why you're doing this and be specific. All right. Are you doing this on a whim? Is that your nature? Are you flighty and just, oh yeah, I think I'm going to start a business? Or are you serious about your business? You see, that makes a difference. So if you're very whimsical and you see something and all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to do this, I can understand how your spouse or partner may be like, yo, slow down, relax. Okay. Are you really serious about this? And here's some of the things you have to think about. All right. Why are you embarking on entrepreneurship? Why are you embarking on entrepreneurship? For me, I was built to be an entrepreneur. I'm not an employee. So I always figured my best chance of success and legacy was to bet on myself and to better our opportunities or our situation. So why are you embarking on entrepreneurship? You need to answer that for your spouse or partner. Number 2, what are the benefits to us? Not me. What are the benefits to us if I'm successful? What's in it for them? What are you going to get? A better life, a new home, generational wealth, comfort, moving out to a safer neighborhood. What are the benefits to us if I'm successful? Okay. So when you discuss about being an entrepreneur with your spouse or partner, why are you embarking on entrepreneurship and what are the benefits to us if you're successful? Now, if you're already an entrepreneur when you start a relationship with your spouse or partner, you still need to sit down and let them understand what you're doing. Okay. So this is a great episode for that. Matter of fact, even if you haven't started a business, this is a great episode on communication. All right. So make sure, I don't care if you're having this problem or not, make sure you tune into this and listen, because this is all about communication. Number 2, lay out the expectations so you'll both know what's coming. All right, guys, I tell this story all the time on the show. So if you've heard it before, don't mind me. But one of the best pieces of advice I ever received came from my wife's pastor when we were doing our premarital counseling. And what he said to us was, expectations will make or break any relationship. Expectations will make or break any relationship. It doesn't matter if it's a spouse and partner relationship, a business partnership, or whatever. Expectations will make or break any relationship. So number 2, lay out the expectations so you will both know what is coming and what is to come. All right. The first thing I'm going to say about that, never overestimate how fast you're going to be successful. Been there, done that. Oh, yeah, babe, I think within the first 6 months, I'll be making money. Now, I'm just saying that as an estimation. But what my wife heard was, I'm going to be making money in 6 months. Okay. So never, ever, as Chris Tucker would say, overestimate how fast you'll be successful. Remember, you're setting an expectation that you may not be able to live up to. Entrepreneurship is fickle, man. So you gotta you gotta understand that. So if you think it's going to take you 12 months to be profitable or be successful, make it 24. Always underestimate your success because there's no exact blueprint. All right, there's no blueprint for your success because you haven't done it before. Now, there's blueprints for other people's success that you can use, but you haven't done it yet. And we're talking about lay out your expectations. Under that, let them know that this is not a guarantee, but an estimate. Okay, you never want to guarantee the time frame for success, especially before you even start. Because once you're in the game and understand what you're dealing with, then you can get a better expectation or determination of how long it's going to take for you to be profitable or to start making money. So let them know that it's not a guarantee. And this was something that my wife and I had issues with too, because I would say something just thinking, yeah, in the next couple months, things should turn around. But what she heard was, yo, this dude's going to be making money in the next couple of months. So you have to be very specific. And we're talking about laying out expectations, which is number 2. Also under that, discuss what this new life is going to look like financially. So when we talk about laying out expectations, you need to lay out what this life as you as an entrepreneur is going to look like financially. So you may have to cut back on things that you've been accustomed to, like vacations, eating out a lot, extracurricular activities, clothing, cable TV, whatever it is. Okay. What is this new life going to look like? And remember, we're setting expectations. Hey, babe, since I'm leaving corporate America, my money isn't going to be the same. So we may have to cut back on eating out, down to twice a month. I'm not going to be able to get my hair cut, 2 times a month or whatever it is. So discuss what this new life is going to look like financially from a financial aspect. And the next thing under expectations, create a new budget with your income from your business. Now, that income from your business may be 0. So you want to create that budget with a 0 income from your business. So your new business may not have income for a while. So you need to prepare for that. Okay. And what we're talking about, what to do when your spouse or partner doesn't support your entrepreneurial dreams. Number 1, explain to your spouse or partner or loved ones why you're doing this and be specific. Number 2, which I just went through, lay out the expectations so you'll both know what's coming. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, how long are you and your spouse or partner going to give yourself to make money? Okay, how long are you going to give yourself to make money? So if your spouse or partner doesn't agree or support your entrepreneurial dreams, there's a time limit on it. You should have a time limit on it also. Okay. So you want to discuss your finances and how long you can and are willing to go without making any money or very little money. And that goes back to the budget. Also, do you have money saved up to invest in your business and how long will that hold up? You also want to discuss what happens if that money runs out and how much more you're willing to invest in the business. So you may want to set a limit. So for example, if you start your business and you say, babe, I got 25,000 and I'm going to sink into my business, and you invest that 25,000 in your business and it still doesn't take off, are you going to invest more money from the family or from your wife or your husband's or your partner's paycheck or whatever into the business? Okay. So you have to understand how long that you and your spouse are going to give yourself to make money. And if there's a hard end date where, hey, you got 24 months to make this thing work. Now, make it work can have various meanings. Does that mean make money, how much money you need to make or whatever? That's something that you guys are going to have to determine. But you need to understand that there is a point in time, if you set the expectation that your spouse or partner who's not supporting you, they're going to be done with it. Okay. So you got to make it happen. I know that's extra stress and all that good stuff. But remember, entrepreneurship is something fluid. So you may not be making that money that you need to make before that set time, but you may be close or you may be on the way. So there's always some leeway, some play there. But what you want to do, number 3, is you need to determine how long you and your spouse or partner are going to give yourself to make money. Speaking about making money, let me just take a few seconds to tell you about today's show sponsor, Shopify. That's the sound you're going to hear every time you make a sale on your Shopify website. Now, if you've listened to the show for any period of time, you know I'm a big proponent of e-commerce. Now, e-commerce literally saved my life. I mentioned earlier in the show that I almost lost everything twice. And the second time, the way that I came back was with my e-commerce business and several Shopify sites. The beauty of Shopify is it's a very simple platform to use, and it's designed specifically for e-commerce businesses. Doesn't matter if you sell vintage t-shirts or hellyeahhotsauce.com. That's right, my Hell Yeah Hot Sauce is sold on the Shopify platform. I invite you to sign up for a free trial at shopify.com/BEB, like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/BEB to start selling online today. Shopify.com/BEB. Now let's jump back into the content, and we're talking about what to do when your spouse or partner doesn't support your entrepreneurial dreams. Number one, explain to your spouse or partner why you're doing this and be specific. Number two, lay out the expectations so you will both know what's coming. Remember, expectations make or break any relationship. And number three, how long are you and your spouse going to give yourself to make money? Now, let's go to number four. Discuss the importance of their support and the difference between real support and tolerating your entrepreneurial journey. This is key, guys. This is a conversation that I had to have with my wife. I'm going to repeat number four. Discuss the importance of their support and the difference between really supporting and tolerating your entrepreneurial journey. So the difference between success and failure, guys, for an entrepreneur can be highly affected by the thoughts, feelings, and actions of your spouse, partner, or loved ones. And let's break that down a little bit. Discuss the importance of the support and the difference between support and tolerating your entrepreneurial journey. All right. Negative thoughts, feelings, and actions from your spouse or partner will negatively affect your business. Not may, guys, it will. Do you understand the power that you have over your spouse or partner? If you truly understand that, you're going to do everything in your power to support that decision to be an entrepreneur. I really want you spouses and partners who are listening to be cognizant about your negative thoughts, feelings, and actions, because once again, guys, they will affect the success of the entrepreneur. Next, your mental confidence is key to your success, entrepreneurs. So let me say this to the spouses or partners. And this actually happened to me on numerous occasions. Okay. So if you come home from your business, you're busting your hump, you're working hard, and your spouse or partner says to you, hey, babe, I know you had a tough day today. It's hard right now, but I know you can do it. I believe in you. Versus, damn, we don't have any money and you're wasting time on this pipe dream of entrepreneurship. Man, just get a damn job. All right. What do you want to come home to as an entrepreneur? And what's going to spur you or make you run through walls? So the spouses or partners of entrepreneurs, I want you to understand the confidence of your spouse or partner who is the entrepreneur is key to their success. So I came home several times and me and my business partner used to talk about it. We'd be driving around the block several times like, damn, I don't even want to go in the house because all I'm going to hear about is how much money we don't have. Man, I'm hoping, or you come home late working, busting your hump, and you're hoping your wife or your spouse or partner is asleep so you don't have to talk about it. But that's a bad feeling. So the mental confidence of an entrepreneur is key. It's just like a professional athlete. If you don't have that confidence when you get into that ring or on that court or on that field, you have to have the confidence. Okay. And if you truly want your spouse or partner to be successful, you're going to build them up. You're not going to tear them down. And I get it. It can be frustrating. You look in the bank account, damn, you don't have enough money to pay your bills. I understand that. But remember, Proverbs 18:21, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruits. So you have the power of life and death, and the mental confidence that the entrepreneur has or does not have is going to directly affect how they're going to do in their business. And we're talking number 4, discuss the importance of support and the difference between real support and just tolerating the entrepreneurial journey. Now, discuss how to communicate respectfully. This is under number 4. Okay. Now, this is going to sound super silly, but as the saying goes, guys, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? If I say, I know you're trying real hard, but when do you think you may need to try something else versus, damn, man, you need a job. Quit this and get a damn job. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm going to tell you from a man's perspective, my personal perspective, supposedly the leader of the family, the provider, the protector, when I'm out there hustling and I'm trying to get these businesses off the ground and they're not working, you don't have to say anything to me because I'm the first one that feels it. I'm like, damn, I'm not carrying my weight. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. But I know if I hold steady, keep being consistent, things will change. Now, I can't speak from anybody else's perspective, but from my perspective as a man and the way my household is, that's my job. And when I'm not doing my job, I'm super self-conscious. So any little thing my wife would say, it would get to me. I'm like, damn, I know, babe. I understand. You don't have to tell me. I think about it all the time. We're not where we should be. I know the bills are behind, but I'm working towards something. I'm working towards something that's greater than this. Okay. And so make sure, number 4, discuss the importance of real support and tolerating. I used to tell my wife, you're not supporting my business. You're just tolerating what I'm doing. Meaning like, yeah, whatever, bro. And I don't need you to be a cheerleader because I got enough cheering for myself that I'm going to be successful. But that's the tough skin that I've developed over time. Not that I'm not sensitive to certain issues, even today. It's not that I'm not sensitive, but I understand that I have to be the major cheerleader for myself. If you're an entrepreneur, don't expect everybody to be all in just because you are. Like my daughter used to say when she was little, my oldest daughter, you better learn how to make yourself happy. All right. So don't expect your spouse or partner who's not all in to stroke your ego or make you happy. You got to figure that out yourself. All right. But you need to be able to communicate respectfully if you're the spouse or partner who's not the entrepreneur. And that goes both ways. Number 5. Now, there are a couple things under number 5 that we're going to discuss. Number 5 is be committed to your success. All right. Excuse the French, guys, but if you're an entrepreneur, you need to bust your ass and you need to let your spouse or partner know or see that you're putting in the work to be successful. Because a lot of people say, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to do this. That's just wishing. You got to put the effort and the work in behind it. OK, so you can't talk about wanting it and then you don't put in the work. You come home from work and you over here wasting time. So here's a couple of tips under number 5 about being committed to your success. The first thing, allocate your time wisely and sacrifice to be successful. Allocate your time wisely, sacrifice to be successful. Make sure, guys, you sign up for these show notes because this is a lot. Because under each point that I'm giving is about 3 or 4, sub points that you need to focus on. Go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, bottom of every page, newsletter, or join us so you can get the show notes. So be committed to your success. And under that, allocate your time wisely and sacrifice to be successful. So if they see you sacrificing for your dream, then they understand that you're serious. You're not playing games. You're not coming home playing 5 hours of video games or watching TV while you could be working on your business. So allocate your time wisely and sacrifice to be successful. So if your spouse or partner is saying, well, damn, I'm sacrificing the money, for you to live your dream, but you coming home and doing the same dumb stuff you was doing before, playing PlayStation for 3 hours, watching movies for 5 hours, all of that nonsense. Okay. So you got to allocate your time and sacrifice to be successful. Another thing you want to do when you're talking about being committed to be successful, you want to cut down on your spending to make your dream a reality. So if you're used to hanging out with the fellas or whatever, every other weekend, maybe you cut that down. Maybe you don't play golf as much. Maybe you don't do whatever, but cut down on your spending. Okay. And the next thing is invest in elevating your entrepreneur IQ. I talk about this all the time, guys. So when you want to be committed to your success, you got to invest in yourself. Okay. Always continue to educate yourself to help launch, build, and grow, as I always say, a successful, sustainable business. So if that looks like you taking an online course, you signing up for BEBacademy.com, you joining a mastermind, whatever it is, you need to invest in elevating your entrepreneur IQ. Okay, and all of those things are under number 5. Be committed to your success. Number 6, be as transparent about your business as your spouse or partner needs you to be. All right. Be as transparent about your business as your spouse or partner needs you to be. And I got a good story about this, personal story. So some spouses or partners don't care what you're doing, and they're only focused on the bottom line. Others like to be more involved. Hey, what's going on? What are your wins and losses and all of that good stuff? Okay. So my wife, for example, she knows the businesses I'm in, but she doesn't want all the transparency. So if I got a loss, I'm taking an L, I know from experience that she can't handle the truth, right? When it comes to that. Even my wins right now, I'm working on a big deal for Hell Yeah Hot Sauce at a big major retail chain. I didn't even tell her about it, okay? Because I know that if I tell her about it, her expectation level, and I talked about that earlier. Oh, how's that going? Did you hear back from them? Is it going to be a big order? Are they going to, get it or not? Blah, blah, blah. So my wife, I know I don't need to be super transparent unless she asks me. All she's really concerned about is the bottom line. Are we going to be able to pay bills? Are we going to be able to live the way that we normally live? Ba-ba. You have to understand your spouse or your partner's personality. Remember, you need to know what their personality is and what makes more sense for your ultimate success. Remember, guys, nobody's going to be as optimistic about your business than you. So what type of response or what type of transparency is needed for your relationship? And I'll just give you another quick story. So after the first time that we almost lost it all and we were making our first comeback, we had a whole bunch of charge-offs, collections, and all kinds of stuff. So my wife is a more of a visual person. She likes to see things, and then that makes it concrete to her. So as we started to rebuild our credit and pay off all our debts and stuff like that, what we did is we used to sit down together. We would go over all the bills, all the debts that we were paying, and we would knock them down. And this is a long time ago. This is like before people were paying on the internet. So I would either write the checks and she would insert them, or vice versa, or whatever, and we mail the bills out. And so this way, even though we were jacked up, she saw the progress. And so because she knew we were making progress, she was okay. So you have to remember how your spouse or partner processes things. What makes it okay? How do they receive information? Okay. You also need to have periodic updates with them on your progress, if that makes sense. Sometimes if your spouse or partner doesn't care and all they're looking at is the bottom line, that's cool. But if they want more transparency, hey, have periodic updates. Maybe every couple of months. Hey, things are going well right now. I'm working on a couple of big projects or a couple of big opportunities, blah, 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 whatever it is. But number 6, be transparent about your business, as transparent as your spouse or partner needs you to be. If they're not all super excited or interested in your business, that's cool. Or they could be hovering over and trying to find out, what is this fool doing? And is it going to work? So you have to understand your spouse or partner's personality. And what we're talking about, guys, what to do when your spouse or partner does not support your entrepreneurial dreams. And number 7, understand that you speak a different language. You speak boss and they speak civilian. You speak a different language. Understand that. You speak boss and they speak civilian. So Entrepreneurs think and speak a different way. People that are civilians that work in corporate America or 9 to 5, they think and speak in a different way. And you have to understand that they're different languages. So when you see opportunities, they see obstacles, right? So you see the corrections you need to make. They see the mistakes that you've already made. You see the money you're going to make if you keep going. They see that you're struggling financially right now. You see the long-term vision. They see the short-term, what's right in front of them. So it's a totally different language. And you have to understand how to bridge that gap, both the entrepreneur and the spouse or partner. And trust me, my wife is the furthest thing from a true entrepreneur. Now, she's done side hustles and things like that, but it was with the mentality of a side hustle. It wasn't with the mentality of building a sustainable, successful business. You know, she used to sell black art back in the day with one of those black art companies. She used to do Raggedy Ann. She'd make customized Raggedy Anns based on your hair and skin color and all of that type of stuff. She would sew that type of stuff. But it was never to build a business. It was always as a side hustle to make money. So remember, number 7, understand you speak a different language. You speak boss and they speak civilian. So you have to come to an understanding that how can you guys communicate correctly? And really, that's what today's show is all about. Real quick, before we get to the last couple of minutes of the show and then I do my closing, let me just share my social media contact information and resource links. Everything that I'm going to tell you guys is on the website at blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. I want you to go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, or if you're lazy, go to BEB Connect. It's going to take you to the same place, bebconnect.com. I mentioned at the top of the show, my latest book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. You can go to anewblackwallstreet.com, pick yourself up a copy, $14.95 print, $9.95 digital, or just go to the website. Also mention BEB Academy. If you want to elevate your entrepreneur IQ, it doesn't matter if you're a first-time entrepreneur or an experienced entrepreneur. It is an online learning portal that has all types of online courses, master classes, resources to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Get 3 days free access. Go to bebacademy.com. Also, I mentioned 2 platforms to help circulate dollars in the worldwide Black community: besmartbyblack.com and hireblackfreelancers.com. If you want to be listed on the sites when they come back up within the next week or 2, just leave your name and email address. Also, don't forget, I mentioned e-commerce today in Shopify. Don't forget, go to shopify.com/BEB to get your free trial. If you're serious about building an e-commerce business, the best program I have out there, pound for pound, is Brand Builder Academy Elite. You can go to bbaelite.com and enroll now, a 15-week implementation program from product ideation all the way to selling on your own site and on other applicable sites like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, or whatever is applicable for your product or service. Once again, make sure you go to the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, hit the Learn tab, and you have all types of resources. Now, if you want to connect with me, anything long, family, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter, JJones001, JAYJONES001, Instagram, I have 2 IG accounts, J Jones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. YouTube, make sure you go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit subscribe. I have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Clubhouse, hit me at I am J Jones. LinkedIn, J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. The easiest way, guys, to find everything is just go to the website, blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. If you want to learn about stuff and resources, hit the Learn tab, and you have all the resources that you need to build and grow your business. If you want to connect with me, hit the About tab, and under my bio, there's all my links to my social media. Let me just recap real quick, guys, because this is an important episode. And I want to say, make sure if you're an entrepreneur and you're going through this problem, make sure you share this episode with your spouse or partner. If you are a spouse or partner that happens to hear this, make sure you share this episode with your spouse or partner who is the entrepreneur. Guys, this is a critical conversation today because marriages and partnerships break up because of money. And if we don't communicate and understand where each other is coming from, then we have more chance to break up, which obviously we don't want that to happen with our families. So make sure, guys, that you take this seriously. I always told you guys, 2022 and beyond, every episode I do, I want to make it super impactful, where it's not necessarily going to be the sexy topic, but it's going to be an actionable topic, something that's impactful, that's going to make a difference, not just in your business, not just as an entrepreneur, but in your life. So let me just recap these 7 things that you need to do right now. Okay. Number 1, explain to your spouse or partner why you're doing this and be specific. All right. So they need to understand that you're serious about this thing too. Okay. And why you're doing it. And make sure you let them know what the benefit to us is, not just you, but what's the benefit to us? What's in it for them? Number 2, lay out the expectations so you will both know what's coming. Remember, expectations make or break any relationship. Don't overestimate what you think your business is going to do and how fast it's going to do it. It's better to underestimate, okay? Number 3, how long are you and your partner or spouse going to give yourself to make money? Is there an end date? Is there an expiration date on your entrepreneurial dreams? That's something that you need to discuss, okay? Number 4, discuss the importance of their support and the difference between real support and tolerating your entrepreneurial journey. Ladies and gentlemen, spouses and partners, I want you to understand that negative thoughts, feelings, and actions will negatively affect your spouse or partner. Not may, they will. Okay. And if you're a team player, and I get it, there's limits to everything. But if them being a successful entrepreneur is beneficial for you and your family, why not support it? Support it. They're not doing it just for them. They're doing it for the whole, for their loved ones, for you, your spouse, your partner. All right. And be respectful when you communicate, guys. All right. It's one thing when you busting your hump and you're trying to make things happen, and then you come home and then you got somebody hollering at you. Damn it, we ain't got no money. The bills are behind, blah, blah, blah. And I get it. It can be frustrating, but just be respectful, okay, about how you communicate. And that's both sides, because the entrepreneur can get offended and start wilding out too. So if you're not doing what you need to be doing, just be respectful and understand your spouse or partner. I had to understand that, and it took me a while to understand it too. I knew it, but I felt defensive because I felt that she was coming at me in a certain type of way. Number 5, be committed to your success. Okay. So if your spouse or partner sees that you're truly committed, that you're sacrificing to be successful, then they'll know that you're serious about this. But if you're not sacrificing, you're not giving up things, if you're not working extra on your business. So if you have a 9 to 5 and you come home and say, hey, I'm going to work 6 to 11 on my business, and you work 6 to 7 and then start watching Monday Night Football, you may not be committed. I'm not saying that you have to be consumed by your business, but you need to show that you're committed to be successful. Okay. So make sure that you sacrifice, cut down on your spending, and also invest in elevating your entrepreneur IQ. Number 6, be as transparent about your business as your spouse or partner needs you to be. If they are seriously interested in your business and they want to know what's going on, be transparent about it. If they don't care what's going on and all they want to focus on is the bottom line, that's cool too. Okay. That's number 6. And finally, number 7, understand that you speak a different language. You speak boss, your spouse or partner is speaking civilian. And the only way you can speak boss is if you're an entrepreneur, because there's certain things that we have to understand. There's certain ways that we're wired that people that are not entrepreneurs aren't wired. So remember, you speak a different language and you have to bridge that communication gap. Okay. And that's imperative. And I just want to say, lastly, if you are a spouse or partner of an entrepreneur, Trust me, it's not like the entrepreneur doesn't want to make money. Okay, we do want to make money. So please bear with us. Support us as much as you can that you can find in your heart. And if you can't support, keep your mouth shut. That's what I used to tell my wife. Yo, I'm going to have to put you in a corner or something, because if you can't say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. I got enough things going against me anyway. I'm climbing up this big hill. And when I get home, I don't need anything else falling on my head, right? I need support. And if you can't give that, that's cool. I respect that, but just don't say nothing in terms of the business or whatever, okay? So really, guys, your support for your entrepreneur spouse or partner is really going to make a big difference, positively or negatively. So if it's going to benefit you, I would behoove you to support that entrepreneur, because it's tough. And I know you have it tough too, because you may not understand specifically what that entrepreneur is going through. Before we close on out, guys, I say this each and every week, but I mean it. We do more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I love you guys. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the new website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Make sure you utilize it. We want blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com to be the resource for Black entrepreneurs. Also, the ecosystem, all the online courses, the books, the materials, the resources, they're there to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, guys, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.